Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Folding List, where we pay attention to the movie so you don't have to. And I say that every time, but like honestly, you can pay attention or not. Like these movies are always good to either throw on and catch back up with again, like these old favorites or new favorites that you just want to see again. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Many Face God. I can't remember all the other ones. It's this dude named Cam. What's up,
Oh
man?
man, oh man. You know what we're gonna? Well, guess what we're gonna talk about today?
What's that, man?
Oh man, we're gonna talk about Sonic.
Sonic. See, I hear a lot of passion in your voice when you say that.
Oh man, let me tell you. You want to know what the first video game system that I ever got in my entire life was?
I'm sure I could guess, but go ahead and tell me, man.
It was a Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, I had Super Mario. Yeah, yeah.
But
Hated that.
continue.
I hated that shit. You know why? Because like my siblings would never play with me, and I was always like, dying on the first level. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. But then, a few years later, my father gave me a Sega Genesis.
See, that was the first system I remember playing a lot because we always do everything the same. We always have. My first system was the was the Super well, not the Super NES, but the NES. That was my first system. Was the straight up Nintendo. And then Sonic, which me and my sister played a ton of. And I said Sonic when I really meant Sega. but that's how much I played Sonic too.
Oh, it's synonymous. It's synonymous. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Man, oh,
Sega.
Yuji Naka really knocked that out the park when he created that little blue hedgehog and had me running
man.
around Green Hills.
Because it was like playing Mario, but playing Mario on speed, or I'm sure at the time.
Cocaine.
Yes, and that was their primary goal. Yuji Naka's team was like, we need a mascot that can compete with Mario because Mario's taking over the fucking world right now. We don't like that shit. So guess what they made? They made a little blue hedgehog and they made him fast. Okay.
Yep.
Much faster than the classic Mario Brothers. They were slow by comparison at that point, and that's kind of like and that's kind of the whole point of this one. We're talking about Sonic 2.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, man. I honestly played that game, the sequel game, more than any of the other ones was Sonic 2. And now we finally got to watch the sequel to the surprise hit Sonic from, what was it, 2020, right? That was like the last movie before the world
I
shut
believe
down.
so. Yeah, it was the beginning.
man.
I remember it was February that the movie came out.
Oh, wow.
And it was on the day that it snowed here in Atlanta. So
Oh,
of
man.
course, like the theater that was right across the street from me was playing it. So I was excited. I was like, oh yeah, it's snowing. I'm gonna see Sonic. It's gonna be a great day. They canceled the movie right when I got up there because of the snow on the roads. And I was like, I didn't drive here. I walked.
Man, that's that's awful. And I'm sure you were.
Very excited
I was pissed.
to go watch this movie.
I was so pissed. I was like, man. But you know what? I had a bit of, reluctance to see it because you know how video game movie adaptations go.
Oh, of course. There have been many missteps.
And the only thing that was really drawing me at that time wasn't really Sonic. I appreciated them for doing the, the reshoots because the
Yeah.
first
Oh,
Sonic
man.
looked abysmal. Like that was out.
Wow.
I had to show my parents that one just because like it had teeth. He didn't need teeth like that. He didn't need little human chiclet teeth.
He had human arms and legs. He had chiclet teeth and little beady eyes. I don't know who greenlit that shit over at Sega or Paramount, whoever.
Like who at Sega was like, no, that's cool. I'm telling you,
Like, oh yeah, they're gonna eat this shit up. Kids will eat anything.
I'm literally like working with a very large gaming brand right now, and I'm not obviously not going to say who, but they are so particular about everything.
Yeah.
Like some dude in our show was going off talking about this imaginary life he would live in one of their games, and they were like, we're not sure if we want this in the show because we're not sure if any of this is accurate. So we're going to have our team go back and research everything that he was saying in this made up imaginary scenario to make sure it's actually like factual and canon with the game.
That sounds like a lot.
He was just joking around, but all right, cool, let us know. But they don't play, man. So I don't understand how beady-eyed, chiclet tooth Sonic
But you know what?
got past everything.
This is how. But this is one scenario where cancel culture actually came through for me.
Oh man.
You know, the
Sad
internet
but true, bro.
was on fire after this, and you know what? Praise the Lord for Tyson Heese. Tyson Heese is an artist who created some really funny Sonic comics like a few years ago, and he was very popular. So Sega came to him, or Paramount, one of them. They came to him and they were like, "Hey, we need you to help us fix this shit, like right now." He gave him, bigger eyes. He gave him expressive eyebrows. You know, he fixed his limbs. What happened? You know, Jim Carrey didn't have to carry the movie. You know,
He still did.
He still did, but
But he didn't have to do as much work.
exactly.
He wasn't going into back surgery like Tiger Woods or some shit after the movie. After they finished shooting, he was okay from carrying the weight he did carry. Cause good Lord, man, like that he's and that was the thing about the first one is like we were like, oh man, Jim Carrey's back doing stuff, and it's a kids movie.
90s Jim Carrey.
Why is he doing this? And then you see it and you're like, oh, it's because this is what he does. And I think that's we'll get into it in the second half of the show like we usually do. If we're doing a new movie, people, we try and keep the spoilers at least to the second half of the show. Like we don't want to ruin your movie going experience or some people don't really give a shit about spoilers, but I give a shit about spoilers, so I'm going to try and keep those to the second half of the show. But I will say that Jim Carrey was back on his 90s acting style in good and bad ways.
Yeah, I agree.
Positive and negatively. There were a few times where I was like, did he just make a reference from like 2002? That's very strange, but okay.
So I gotta ask you, Travis,
Okay.
how did you like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie?
It was it's a kids movie, so I always preface my reviews with that whenever that is a part of it. But it is a kids movie, so it is for children.
Yes.
So there are things that I will let go, and there are things that I can't. Egregious, like poorly. Never mind. I'm not gonna go that hard on the movie. It's a kids movie, but I did enjoy a lot of the movie. I'll say a good 70% of the movie. I was like, this is cool. But there was a good portion of it where I was like, I don't understand why this is happening, why it's so long. This is cool, but like, I don't know, man. We'll get into it in a second. But honestly, like, what did you feel about the movie?
Oh man, coming from Sonic the Hedgehog 1, my expectations were astronomical. They were so high, I was actually scared.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it brought me back to the moment where I felt, scared going into Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I was like, man, they did a great job with rebooting his image. What are they going to do with the rest of the movie? And I was pleasantly surprised in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, and that movie is like, I will say the first one it's a true folding list movie for me. Like, it's very easy to just throw on.
Absolutely.
Because there's not a ton of plot to it. The plot's very simple. Sonic's living his life in the woods on his own. He makes a new friend, but as soon as he makes a new friend, he makes a new enemy. Then they have to figure out how to deal with the enemy with the new friend so he can live his life. The end.
And you know what? Those elements do, in a way, carry over to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. However, I will say, that the movie was all right for me.
Yes, yes.
It was all right. It ticked the necessary boxes. Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey. Of course, Idris Elba as Knuckles. You can't go wrong with Idris Elba. Tails was great.
Yeah.
And, Sonic was Sonic.
Yep,
So the
straight
baseline was there. It didn't impress me.
I will say, like, what's his name? Idris Elba was great as Knuckles. I don't know why I didn't think he would be, but as soon as at some point Knuckles is reading a text message and he's like, "I will meet you there soon," and then somebody starts typing, and then you see the dots, and he just goes dot 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 dot, and and at that point, that's when I was like, oh, I get what he's doing now. I got it. This is cool. He's on some what is it, like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like the Japanese call it isekai, which is you're taking from your normal habitat and you're put in like a whole new world. He reacts accordingly, and plus with him being a warrior, he sees everything as a challenge or a rite of passage.
See, and I think that's the thing that I was I kind of wanted to pick your brain about this stuff, because about actual Sonic lore. I just know he runs fast and he's got a bunch of cool friends, and I think he's a mammal-ish.
Like that's
I forgot that he liked chili dogs. I forgot that was even a part of it. It's like, all of that, man. Where does that come from?
Yeah. So throughout the years, Sonic has had so many adventures and so many reboots where we really don't know, his true origin or his friends' origins. We just know that Sonic runs fast and he has a lot of friends, and he's got some really bad games out there. A lot of good games, but a lot of really bad games.
Yeah.
A lot of really bad media too. I think one of the later 3D cartoons, Sonic and Friends or whatever, they have Knuckles as this oaf. He's very dumb. He's like a meathead, like a musclehead. Where originally in Sonic and Knuckles, or Sonic 3, he was his true rival, where he ran just as fast as Sonic. He actually fought a little bit harder than Sonic, and in some ways he's a little bit more powerful. And I love the fact that the movie actually went back to its roots. They did the research and they went back to the roots of Knuckles not being this oaf meathead who makes these lame jokes, but he's actually a threat to Sonic.
And there's actual depth to that character. There's like a big history that they explore and explain in Sonic 2, which I was kind of into. Like it feels like there could be even prequels to this that would look super dope. Can you imagine like an army of Sonics facing an army of Knuckle people, and like, dog, like that? It sounds crazy, but. And actually, before we dive a little bit further into that, let's go ahead and take a quick break and kind of gather our thoughts once again, and then bounce back into this. And we'll be right back for more of the folding list. Are you heading back into the office after working from home all this time? Or do you need something to stuff down that road rage on your way to work? Or are you just looking for more podcasts to listen to in your headphones so you can drown out your coworkers' awful taste in music? Well, look no further. The Folding List is hitting you with new episodes on Friday to kick off the weekend and help you find that movie to throw on while you're just hanging out. And if you're looking for in-depth reviews and discussions about film in general, the Movie Dogs have got you covered. They'll let you know what's worth watching and what's worth watching at your own risk. Between these two podcasts, we've got you covered. Hit subscribe, like, and follow on your favorite podcast platform. And while you're there, hit us with a pretty good review. It all helps, and we definitely appreciate the love. Yeah, so we're talking about Sonic 2, and we're actually, I know we talked a little bit about Sonic 1 in the first half of it. We talked a little bit about the design and the lore, but let's talk a little bit more about Sonic 2. We'll try and stay away from specifics as much as possible, but let's kind of give our somewhat review of this movie. So Cam, you were telling me about all of the different. You enjoyed the way they actually did the background of Knuckles and how they went to the roots and all that kind of stuff. Did you feel like this movie, as a whole, steered further away from its roots or closer to them?
You know what I think? I think that this was two, maybe three movies in one. And that's where it kind of disjointed me a little bit. As far as the history and the dynamics between Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Robotnik, they nailed that. That was the baseline. That was what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Knuckles whoop Sonic's ass, and I got to see that. It was very Kong versus Godzilla.
Straight up.
They threw humans in Kong versus Godzilla. Didn't care for them too much. Same rule applies here. The human aspect did work in Sonic 1, just because what's his name, Cyclops from X-Men.
James Marsden.
Yeah, James Marsden. Is that his name, James Marsden?
Marsden or Mards? Let me check. Okay. But go ahead.
Yeah. He's great. With acting with inanimate objects. I think that
Marsden.
I think that he's a fantastic, inanimate object actor.
He does do a good job, man, and he's bouncing back and forth with my boy Ben Schwartz, man. I've been a fan of that dude for a hot minute now because he was on, he had his little parts here and there on like Parks and Rec. But he was also on this show called House of Lies with Don Cheadle on Showtime, I think. That was a dope show, man. Don Cheadle killed it, and Ben Schwartz was great. But he's also a big podcast guy, improv guy, like super hilarious. So if there's anybody that's fast enough to be Sonic as a character, it's Ben Schwartz.
Yeah, I think my first time getting exposed to him was it was a Netflix show that was made by the Office producers, Space Force. He was in Space Force.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that's good too.
yeah. I was like, oh, that's a Sonic guy.
Ben's crazy. Like he's an improv dude. So if you want to see like speed and comedy, you should watch. I forgot the name of the special, but he has a special on Netflix with Thomas Middleditch.
Okay.
And they're just doing improv, but it's just the two of them on stage, killing it. So if you want to see speed, check those dudes out for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely check them out. Yeah. But as far as the baseline, they had that. But when I said that it felt like about three movies in one, it was way too many humans. Way too many human situations in that, the first movie, it felt like Rush Hour, which was great. I got that nostalgia, buddy cop feeling, watching the first one. Second one, Sonic just got too many friends, man. And they're all humans.
I understand that there are parts of this movie that, because we saw this in the theater. Our producer extraordinaire, Mr. Chino, he hooked us up with movie tickets to this, and it's kind of a part of the gig. We just have to go see these movies. It's we have to be able to talk about them. It's kind of a drain, but but we always appreciate it, and we definitely went to check out Sonic 2. And we're in the theater, and there were scenes that a majority of the audience was enjoying, but I had to. For me, it was too much. It was very almost cringy.
Yeah.
At one point, I leaned over to you and I said, "Where's Sonic?"
Right. There was about maybe 10, 15 minutes where I did not see that blue little asshole once.
Check your language there. No, I meant just how you said that. You just said blew the little asshole.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Hold on, wait a second.
Maybe just call him Sonic. We'll just stick to Sonic. That's much safer. But you are correct, man. It was like 10, 15 minutes where he was not on screen. No Tails, no nobody.
Yeah.
And it was like the director in the studio was like, let's take a break from the fun and get to the humans. But I don't care about them. I want to see Godzilla versus Kong. I want to see Sonic v Knuckles, like Sonic and his friends v Robotnik. Like that's what I want. And honestly, I felt like Tails was he was so close to being what you want him to be, and I think they kind of touched on it because at times Tails would be trying to like talk to Sonic and Sonic would just be like, all right, man, chill. Yeah, we can do it, and you're so cool, and we're gonna be a great team. And he's like, all right, man. Sounds good. And I feel like that could have been an opportunity to be almost a little bit meta to where he like sounds like a video game and Sonic doesn't get it because he's been on Earth for so long.
That was a great Tails impression, by the way.
Thanks. They did have a cartoon for a while too when we were kids.
Oh yeah, and Jaleel White.
Yep, Jaleel White.
Yeah,
I forgot.
he was the classic Sonic voice. I still think that you can come back and crush it too.
Urkel and Sonic. That's crazy. It's crazy he's got those on his belt. But yeah, like it's this movie, I will say, for our audience, like we obviously saw this early, and that's why we're able to do this. We wanted to kind of give you a chance to hear our kind of somewhat withdrawn opinion before you check this movie out, or like go check it out. I don't know. It's a good time, especially if you've got kids. Definitely take them. I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
you'll enjoy most of it.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it was a fine movie. It was fine.
Yeah,
it was a good time, and I think that's all I'm really asking for at this point from a movie is that it's not just some like heavy slog that you have to get through, like
the Spirit. From Frank Miller.
Oh man, I think last time.
Do you remember that movie?
Chino brought that up, and I was just as mad that he brought that up because I try and block that movie out of my head.
I don't even remember what happened in that movie. All I know is Eva Mendes showed her glutes in that movie.
Man, hey, I even blocked that out. I do not. It pops up on like streaming sometimes, and I click past it as fast as possible.
Yeah,
because
free
I
one.
was such a fan of Sin City,
the first Sin City movie.
Yeah, Sin City was brilliant. Actually,
I thought it was great.
It doesn't quite hold up as much as you'd think it would, but it was great at the time. It was like a visual masterpiece, basically. And so I was like, oh, if they're doing basically another story, this is going to be great. I didn't have that fear like you had for Sonic 2, man. I should have had a little bit of that fear because I went into the Spirit feeling very excited and left the movie very upset that I paid for that fucking movie.
Yeah, my cousin said that people were walking out.
I rarely walk out of movies, and I thought about it. I really did. Because it was pointless, it was boring, it was poorly acted in. They were doing a lot of the same tricks from Sin City, but worse.
It was not good, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Frank Miller is not a good director. At all.
He's a good artist.
Great artist. Great writer even. But director, no.
Trash.
But back to decent. Sonic 2, like, it truly, both, I will say both are folding list movies, but more of Sonic 1 would be enjoyable than Sonic 2. And Sonic 2 is like 30 minutes longer.
I agree.
So it's interesting when a movie is almost too much of a good thing. It was like I think you said it best, man. And I hope this kind of is a jumping off for you, but you said the first one was more organic. So what did you mean by that?
Yeah, It was more natural. I didn't know what to expect, and my expectations like blew my ass off. Sonic, he was fantastic. Just because I didn't really know what Ben Schwartz would bring to the character,
Yeah.
and he brought a lot of new stuff to the character. Where he was this really chatty,
Yeah.
fun, lonely alien. Who
And
And he actually said, because I'm a fan of his, he said recently that he plays it like a 14-year-old kid.
yeah.
And he really does lock that in. There's one point in the new one where he's making he made a, what is that, like a security check, like a airport security check.
That
And
was
I was
probably
like,
one of the
man,
highlights of the movie.
straight up, like that was such a cool moment, because you're like, oh, he is a kid, but he's so fast that he can like make this crazy thing in the house and have fun with it and use his imagination. And I'm sorry I got you off topic
No,
there,
you're
yeah.
good. You brought up a really good point. One thing that I sort of missed from the first movie was the Quicksilver moment. I didn't get a
Yeah.
Quicksilver moment. I got a dance battle, and when
no, you got a Quicksilver moment that happened.
was
What
that
was it?
on the plane when Tails was flying and robot?
Yeah, he like jumped off and like dodged all of the rockets again, super slow mo.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
mean that
you got that, but
part.
it was much shorter.
Yeah, it didn't really
was much
stick out to
shorter.
me as much as the dance sequence did. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if there's a dance sequence in the movie, then I mean, I'm already halfway gone by this point.
I was telling Mai that earlier today, man. Like I'm okay with musicals, but when I want to go see a regular movie and then they throw musical moments or dance moments like that into them, it completely throws me out of the movie. Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm kind of apprehensive about seeing what's that movie?
The
Doctor Strange. Think they're gonna have a dance musical?
No.
A dance moment in Doctor Strange.
Nah.
And that's going to be a lot darker than people are ready for.
And I'm
Like
excited
Wong's gonna
for it.
come and he's gonna do like pirouettes and shit.
And then leave again.
You suck.
But no, Bob's Burgers, the Bob's Burgers movie.
Oh yeah, I'm not too excited about that.
I love the show, but when they got in the later seasons, they became much more musical, and I don't care for it. I like South Park can be musical. Those dudes have won Tonys, but like I don't know about the other one. I don't know
agree.
about Bob's Burgers. I want it to be good. I enjoy that show. I love that show, but I feel like there's going to be at least 4 or 5 music numbers in that movie,
If not 6.
and they're not advertising it like that, and that scares me.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
you bring up
But
a really good point. I really hate when they don't advertise when it's a surprise.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Throws me off completely.
Yeah, like actually, I will say that you mentioned South Park. South Park was a surprise for me, but it was a pleasant surprise because I didn't think that was going to be a musical. But then again, I didn't really see any of the previews for it just because South Park came out when I was a minor.
yeah, you mean the movie Bigger, Longer, Uncut?
yeah.
Yeah, you realize that's a dick joke, right?
I never realized that.
Yeah, they named their movie national hit a dick joke. Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Really funny. Yeah, because I remember in an interview they said the original title was, I think, South Park Goes to Hell or something like that, and they were like, yeah, we have to make the title PG or rated G, so they came up with that, and I was like, wow, it took me how many years?
Yeah, that's a dick joke.
That's really funny. Wow, learn something new every day.
Yeah, man, those dudes are geniuses.
Man.
And there's not too many people that are geniuses like those people, and like, well, just like on those guys. One last thing: if you are into musicals and you have not seen the Book of Mormon, which is written and basically produced by the South Park creators, you have to see that play. It's so fucking good. If you're anywhere close to a fan of South Park and you like musicals, go see that play. Easily one of like my favorite play I've ever seen, and I've seen a good amount at this point.
So interesting.
Yeah, they're great. But yeah, so I don't know if this Sonic's gonna win any awards. The first one almost did because no other movies came out that year, so it actually got a lot of praise in 2020.
No competition at all.
Yeah, they were like the only movie in 2020. Uh, but this year Sonic 2's got some competition. He's got I think it's still doing well, but I think Morbius took the top spot.
Oh hell no!
I know. We'll see if Sonic knocks it out of place, which I honestly think it will, because the first one was such a hit, man. The families are ready to go. Everybody's ready for a good time in the theater, and I will admit this is a good time.
You know what? That is very true. And the more that I watched Sonic and paid attention to just the little things, I also noticed who their core demographic was.
Mm-hmm.
It was little black kids. I think they wanted the Space Jam. I think they wanted the Space Jam crowd. I really do.
Yeah. They probably found out that Space Jam was coming out, and they're like, we've got to do something space-tacular.
Yeah.
And they just went full tilt, ton of CGI. Like, basically, Dr. Robotnik, Jim Carrey, was in front of the green screen. I don't think he was on location once in this entire movie.
Green screen and wires, because he was floating all over the place.
Yep. It was really strange. Like they were always, and that's what was great about the first one. You saw Jim Carrey, like the Dr. Robotnik, interacting with normal human beings. Like, of course he's gonna sound crazy, but now he had to sound crazy next to aliens who already sound crazy. So he was full tilt Jim Carrey, and I think that's why he was like, I'm tired. I don't have anything in the gas tank. But all right, man. I think we're gonna. I'm pretty tired too, honestly. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I'm on some Jim Carrey. I'm gonna take a break. I know we'll be back with more episodes very soon, but I think we're gonna have to call it here on that one. So. I know we didn't have a guest, man, but it was good talking to you one-on-one. This was cool, batting it back and forth, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Sonic is my childhood. You know, he holds a very special place, in my heart of hearts. You know, however black it may be. There's always Sonic. There's always that little blue asshole that gets fitted by that red-knuckled asshole.
The little blue asshole that smells like chili dogs.
And with that,
with the runs. all right.
With that, we're going to end the episode. So once again, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for joining me and Cam on The Folding List.
Gotta go fast.